terms of the outcome in Afghanistan and broadly in connection with the South Asia strategy, the President gave us very clear guidance that we worked on, as you know, over the period of several months across the whole national security team. And that guidance was to prioritize the safety and security of the American people. And that's what our efforts are prioritizing now. The second thing is he said that he wanted us to have a sound regional strategy, not a strategy that lasts a year. You know, some people have said, and I think there's an element of truth to this, that we've had 16 one-year strategies in Afghanistan. And so you see a fundamental change in an outcomes-based strategy rather than a time-based strategy. And what that does is give us the greatest chance to combine what we're doing militarily, largely in support of the Afghan government and their long struggle against terrorists and groups and the Taliban, but also to integrate that with what we hope to achieve diplomatically. I think it was clear to anyone that the approach of, well, let's talk with the Taliban and tell them we're leaving at the same time, how would that ever work? Especially when the Taliban were making battlefield gains associated in large measure with our disengagement from the fight with the Taliban in support of the Afghan forces. And so it is a fundamental shift in the strategy. You know, those who have said, well, this is more of the same, are absolutely wrong about that. Just think about that. Conditions-based versus time-based. A regional approach rather than a myopic focus on one little group or another group. You know, we tried very hard in Afghanistan over recent years to disconnect the dots. All right, so we took a broad approach at this, looking at this with our intelligence community and our partners. And the President has also asked us, hey, how can others do more? How can others share more of the burden and the responsibility? And so this strategy delivers on all of that. In connection with your answer, the answer is the American people and abroad and here at home are safe and secure from terrorists who could otherwise gain a safe haven and support base that they could use to organize, plan, finance, and conduct attacks, not only in that region but globally. And we know that's their design. We know that from our own history, and we know that from the intelligence.
General Secretary, General McMaster, following on that, given the history and the ideology of the Taliban, are you confident that a political solution, settlement could ever be reached with the Kabul government that wouldn't end up, once U.S. forces leave Afghanistan, and the Taliban reneging on their agreement and trying to take over Afghanistan again?
Well, no, I don't think I'm confident. I don't think anybody's confident about that unless we can demonstrate through whatever an agreement is that various groups who will cease their hostility to the Afghan government would then recognize that constitution and participate in a future of Afghanistan that is acceptable to the Afghan people. You know, the Afghan people remember. They remember 1996 to 2001 pretty vividly, and what it was like to live under that brutal regime. Now, the Taliban, as I mentioned, we work hard sometimes to disconnect the dots here, and especially in connection with the Taliban's relationship with al-Qaeda, the Taliban's relationship with other terrorist organizations. But what we also recognize is none of these groups are monolithic or homogeneous either. So if there are those who are ready to join a political process, like Hezbollah Islamic Gulbuddin did over the past year, then I don't think the Afghan government would object to that in any way. But the critical thing is, if your enemies are fighting aggressively against you, it is not a good option to say you're not going to fight them anymore and then just hope for an outcome that secures the interests of the American people.
Question on Venezuela.
We'll take it in the back.
For General McMaster, could you define winning in Afghanistan? What does winning in Afghanistan look like for the United States?
All right, so winning in Afghanistan is really aimed at allowing Afghanistan to be Afghanistan, as the President said, not to nation build, not to create a state in U.S. image. Winning in Afghanistan means that there are not terrorist groups who are able to control key parts of the territory and population centers there that could be used to mobilize resources, raise funds, use those funds to then organize, plan, and conduct attacks against us and our allies and partners. And so that's what the success is is really a sustainable outcome there that ensures the safety and security of the American people. And as you know, Afghanistan is connected to broader security concerns across the region. And so the outcome is to ensure that a threat from that region doesn't threaten the safety and security of the American people.
Hi, I'm Tanya Breyer, and that was just a taster of what you can find on CNBC Live. For more award-winning content, just click on the videos. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.